Hey everyone, it's Laurel. Today I want to share a Valentine's Day project with you. And so normally I'm a horrible procrastinator, so the fact that I actually have a Valentine's um, project done in January makes me kind of proud. So I'm happy about that. And what I did is I made this little book, and I decided that rather than just sending a Valentine's Day card, I'm going to send this little book out to let someone know not just that they are special, but why they're special to me. So the book title is What I Like About You, and inside there's little places to write, why someone is special. So it folds out like this, and there's four little pockets, and so there's space. It's more of like a journaling book rather than a photo album. I'm gonna put a few small pictures in, but for the most part it's to write to someone why they're special to you. I think a lot of times, I mean, it'll always make somebody feel good, I think, for you to tell them why they're special and why you treasure them in your life. So that's what I'm going to try and do with this book. I think that too often we don't, in fact, tell people, why they're our friend, or, why we like spending time with them, why we like being with them. So I'm going to try and use this as an opportunity to do that. So today I want to show you how I made this little book. It's really fast, so I'm quite optimistic that I can make a bunch of these and it won't take me very long. So I'm going to show you what a quick and easy project this is to make. So the first thing you're going to need is a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and that's what the inside of the book is made out of, the accordion folded section. So I have this 12 by 12 gray piece of cardstock here. So what I'm going to do is score it right down the middle at 6 inches. And I'm going to fold it. So you can see that there's 4 sections, so I'm going to have to make 3 score lines to make this accordion folded section. So the first one I'm going to do is going to be here at 6, and for this part, because you're going through 2 thicknesses of cardstock, I like to run my bone folder over it a few times. Then I'm going to flip it over because I want the fold to go the opposite direction. And I'm going to score it at 3 and 9. Okay. So now I'm just going to fold it according to the direction it was scored in. Okay, so this is going to be the inside of my book. And I'm just going to set this aside for now. Now I have 2 pieces of thin chipboard, like cereal box weight chipboard. These two, the inside of my book now measures 6 inches tall by 3 inches wide. So these are going to be my covers. So these are cut at 6¼ inches tall by 3¼ inches wide. So I have a front and a back cover. And all I'm going to do is, this is an 8½ by 11 sheet of red cardstock that I cut in half. And this is what I'm going to cover my chipboard cover with. So all I'm going to do is adhere this right in the middle. So now I have the chipboard adhered to the cardstock. All I'm going to do is gently fold the cardstock around the chipboard. Just kind of roll it around the edge with your thumb. And then use your bone folder. To crease it. So you're just going to do that around all 4 of the edges. And then, so now you can see that you have these lines on your cardstock. So all we're going to do is cut the corners out so that we can adhere the edges of the cardstock down. If you don't cut the edges off, you're going to have like this big bulky piece in the corner there. So just cut it off with the scissors. And then I'm just going to use ATG tape for this. And smush it down with my bone folder. And then do the other 2 edges. Okay, so that's how I cover the cover. I'm going to finish this one and I'll be right back. So now I have my 2 cover pieces that are covered with the red cardstock. So this just goes, it gets sandwiched in between the 2 covers like that. But before I glue that down, this ribbon that closes the book goes in between the back cover and the insides of the book. So I need to put that in while I'm gluing this down. So I'm going to use this polka dot grosgrain ribbon here. And I just want it in the middle. So I'm just going to use some ATG tape just to hold it down. So what's going to happen is the left side of the ribbon is going to fold over the book and stick down. So I need it to come across like that. So my red ribbon will go there. And then if it's easier for you, you can punch these now. I just do them later, so I'm just going to stick this down like this into my book. So all I'm going to do is put some glue onto the insides of my book like this. And I'll stick it down. Just like that. And then I'll stick my top piece down. And I'll just line up the two covers like this. And with the liquid glue, you have some time to kind of line your pieces up, and you can always move them around a little bit if you have to, whereas if you use tape, you probably won't be able to lift it back up. So now that I have my covers glued to the inside of my book, I'm just gonna use these clips, and I'm gonna let my glue dry. So I'll be right back as soon as my book is dry. So now I'm back, and the glue on my covers is dried, and this is what it looks like. All I did was I started punching these little notches to help pull the tags out a little bit easier, but this is what it looks like now. So now what I'm going to do is punch the last hole for the tab. So to do that, I'm using a 3/4 inch on the bottom page layer, and then a 1 inch on the pattern paper that's going to go over that. So I'm doing, on here I did punches on the top here, and then these I'm going to do them on the side, just so it's a little bit different, and there's not, you know, it's not boring with just 4 punches along the top. So I'm just going to eyeball it here on the bottom. And then, so I punched these already, so you can see how the 3/4 inch punch on the bottom layer matches up with the 1 inch on the pattern paper piece that goes over that. And then these will go here. So all I have to do is punch this piece that's going to go here. So to mark where I'm going to punch my 1 inch hole, I just line this piece up the way that I want to glue it down, and I take a pen and I just mark where the center of the punch is, and then I use my 1 inch punch this time, and I punch that, so then it lines up here. So on these pieces I've already applied some distress ink to the edges, so I'm going to go ahead and do that on this piece, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm ready to adhere the pattern paper pieces down. So I'm just going to use my ATG gun. And I'm just going to line up the pattern paper piece with the bottom, and then also my punched hole on the edge here. So each of these will just cover their panel like so. So now I have each of these 4 sections covered with my pattern paper. So now we're going to assemble this Velcro closure. So remember that we attached this piece of ribbon in between the back cover and the insides of the book. So the glue's all dried, so we can work on this now. You don't want it to be really tight when you put your pieces together. You want to leave a little bit of room because you are going to be putting some tags and maybe some photos in, so the thickness of your book will increase just a little bit. So all I want to do is kind of measure that. I'm not really measuring it, I'm just estimating it. So I'm going to trim this ribbon here, and this is going to be the top piece when the closure is closed. Whoa. So I'm using this Beacon's 3-in-1 glue, and I'm going to glue the end of my ribbon down so that the edge is finished. Just like that. And then I'm going to trim just a tiny little bit off of this piece. And I'm going to do the same thing here. And just hold it for a second. Okay, so now for my closure, I have a little round Velcro thing. It's self-adhesive, but I'm going to go ahead and use this same glue to glue it down anyway. I just think that it holds better than the adhesive that's already on the Velcro piece. So all I'm going to do is make sure that I have the right side. Okay, so I'll just peel the backing off, and I'll put just a little bit of this glue onto my Velcro circle, and I'm just going to put it right there. And then I'll peel the other side off and do the same thing. and I'll just kind of lay it down and place the ribbon over it where I want it to go. Just hold it for a couple of seconds. And so that's basically your closure. All I'm going to do is I have this little, it's a brad that I cut the prongs off of. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this on. I'm actually going to open Okay, so I'm just going to stick my little button onto the top flap of the closure. Okay, so that's done. So now all you have to do is I cut these pieces to cover the front and back of my book. So I'm just going to use my ATG gun and stick those down. And these measure 3 by 6. They're 3 inches wide by 6 inches tall. And I think I forgot to mention the pattern paper pieces that I used to cover the inside panels of the book were cut at 2 3/4 inches wide by 5 3/4 inches wide, because each panel in here is 3 by 6. So the last thing you need to do is to cut your tags that'll go in here, and these are also cut to 2 3/4 inches wide by 5 3/4 inches tall. You can use little tabs on the edges if you want. So in my other book, all I did was I added 2 different tags in here. So I cut out hearts to use as my tabs on the big tags, and then on these smaller ones I just used these little rectangular tabs. So these slip in here like that, and these have the little tabs to pull from these holes here. So that's the last thing you need to do, is to make your tags. So they'll just slip in like this, and you don't have to put tabs on them if you don't want. These holes will help you to pull your tags out, so you don't really need it. And that's your book. All you have to do now is embellish it and add some journaling spots where you can write why the recipient is special to you, and I'm sure that it would really help to brighten anyone's day. Just as a special reminder to them of why you value them. So these books are really fast and easy to put together. So I hope that I will be able to complete a bunch of these by Valentine's Day. So that's the project I wanted to share with you today. And thanks for watching my video. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Bye.